Boy, you can't ask for a better evening. Like this is like July. 79 degrees. And the wind out of the east-southeast, 16 miles an hour. The wind blowing from right to left as it did last night. It just kept warming up after the cold night last night. And through the day, you had an inkling and a notion that this was going to be pretty special tonight and for the rest of this week. Harold Reynolds takes a strike. We're underway. Reynolds, second baseman. Reynolds, a switch hitter. Hitting at 268, and the fastball is high and tight. Harold 7 for 37 against Clemens. Just batting 189 against him. Clemens has pretty well owned a lot of these Mariners. Jody Reed making that play, and there's one out.
Just don't know what Roger Clemens is going to show up. The one that comes out and strikes out maybe 10 guys in a ball game, or the guy that comes out and gets us a lot of ground ball outs. His last few games, not many strikeouts, only 4 against Kansas City, 6 against California, but an awful lot of ground ball outs.
Well, that, Mr. Remy, is why, and showing every year why he is becoming a better and better pitcher. Instead of just the guy that blows heat past you, he can get a mess of ground ball outs and pitch games where he does not have to throw as many pitches as he did when he was striking out guys. The batter is Edgar Martinez, the third baseman. Martinez is a guy who's done pretty well against Clemens. 6 hits in 14 times up, including a home run.
4 guys in the lineup tonight that have done fairly well against Clemens: Martinez, Griffey, O'Brien, and Briley.
Pete O'Brien has really hit him hard, and so is Griffey. Griffey's at 400 against him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Martinez, 3 homers in his last 4 games. Hard hitting, very steady third baseman. Single driving in a run last night, and he had 1 base hit in the opener. And he drills one to left field, and Greenwell cannot get to it. Takes a bounce right off the base of the wall, and Martinez is in with a double. Edgar Martinez lacing a double to the base of the wall in left center field.
Looked like Mike Greenwell got a late break on this ball from Martinez. He was kind of frozen out there in left field. Once he decided to make that move to get after it, a little bit too late. The ball's going to hit right at the base of the wall. Had he got the proper jump, I believe he would have been able to make that play. Martinez in the second base with the double. Greenwell knows he's on the warning track now, has to pull up, and you see where the ball lands, just short hopping the wall.
The Mariners with a runner at second and 1 out, and Ken Griffey is up. Griffey with a .291 average had 4 hits in the game last night. He is 6 for 15 against Roger Clemens. Unloads and fouls it back for a strike.
Griffey put on quite a show in that ball game last night, getting those 4 hits against left-handed pitching.
Raised his average 20 points to what it is now at .281, and now he has a 7-game hitting streak going. He's homered in every major league American League park except Fenway and Tiger Stadium. 2 pretty good ballparks to hit home runs in, particularly Tiger Stadium.
Now Fenway has got that long fence out there, 380 to the bullpens. You can pretty much understand Fenway, but Tiger Stadium, just get lucky and pull one, you get one out of that place, especially Griffey.
2-strike pitch, saves it, and it's 0-2.
Right away here early in the ball game, Clemens going to the 4th ball against Griffey with the 2 strikes on him. You get a man in scoring position, you get the left hand of the plate, he'll go right to that pitch.
Another little foul ball, and it's still 0-2 to Ken Griffey.
Once again, same pitch from Clemens. This time Griffey just able to foul it off. I tell you, the 3 that he's thrown so far have really been able to dive on that hitter.
Outfield pulled a little bit toward right. It swung around toward right field on Griffey. And he's out of there. Going for a pitch outside. And Roger gets his first strikeout.
A lot of off-speed pitches that time to Griffey. The forkball, I think 3 straight times. Then he goes right here. It looks like the over-the-top curveball to Griffey. Down and away. Perfect location.
Now Tino Martinez, who is playing first base tonight. Pete O'Brien is in the lineup against Clemens, having a good record against him, but Pete is the designated hitter tonight. Young Tino Martinez. He's hitting .297 with 4 home runs and has not had a hit against Clemens in 8 times at bat. Jackknifes away, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs. Edgar Martinez at second base. Tino Martinez at the plate. Crowd a little larger tonight than it has been the other 2 nights on a pleasant baseball evening. On the corner for a strike, and it's 1-2. Crowd with a shirt sleeve night at Fenway for a change. Clemens picking up the corners, and all of a sudden early showing his pitches. He's shown 3 or 4 of them already. He's shown the forkball. He's shown the fastball, the curve. Down to first, and right there for the out. Tom Brunansky making the play. So Tino Martinez is out, and the Mariners leave a runner. And after a half inning, no score. And in the bottom of the first inning, the Red Sox coming up against the rookie left-hander Fleming with this lineup. Jody Reed at second base. Mike Greenwell in left. Wade Boggs at third. Jack Clark will be the designated hitter. Burks in center field. Bruno, the first baseman. Zupsik in right field. Rivera at short, and Pena catching.
Defense tonight for the Seattle Mariners. They're 10th in the league. 34 errors in 39 games. Edgar Martinez will be at third base. Omar Vizquel, the shortstop. Harold Reynolds at second. And Tino Martinez at first. Left to right, Dave Cochran, Ken Griffey, and Greg Briley. Bert Heffernan will get the start behind the plate this evening. And on the mound, left-hander Dave Fleming. Fleming only 22 years old. Record stands at 5-1. We mentioned he's on a 5-game winning streak. Lost the first game of the year. Since that time, a win, no decision, now 4 straight wins. 8th appearance, 4.57 ERA. 43 hits and 41 in the third innings. Struck out 26. He's walked 19. Opponents hitting .267 off Fleming, and very impressive his last time out against Toronto. He beat them 2-1. 7+ innings, 6 hits, and 1 run allowed against the Blue Jays.
He has pitched a game in which he shut out the White Sox into the 8th inning. A winning game against them. Jody Reed leading off. And a pitch over for strike 1. Reed at .286 with 1 homer, 13 RBI, and has been very effective so far from his new leadoff spot, his new spot this year. He did have some 30 games or more from the leadoff spot last year. Strike 2. Jody has 2 hits in this series, both of them last night, a single and a double. Had a run batted in last night, and he scored a couple of times. Being the good leadoff man, he's been on base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got a rookie battery here. Brennan and Heffernan. Mariners struggling with their pitching staff. Of course, they lost some valuable pitching, the 3, and they trade with the Giants for Kevin Mitchell, of course. Billy Swift starting off so well for the Giants, along with Mike Jackson and Burba. They have Holman out with shoulder rotator cuff shoulder problems and out probably for the year. That's a big hole right there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reed to the right side and stabbed by Reynolds. Makes a nice play, but he's safe. What a play by Reynolds. Almost got Reed in what would have been a highlight film play, but Jody beats it out for a base hit.
Harold Reynolds was playing Reed up the middle, had a long way to go to try to make a play on this ball, went into the dive. Watch how much he goes out on that outfield grass to try to increase his range. Problem is, he could not get himself up, could not get a lot on this throw to first base, and that's the only reason Jody Reed will beat it. Very close play. Fine play by Reynolds. He's got some range. This guy's a Gold Glove winner from past years. Of course, last year, Alomar taking over that honor.
Ball gets by Heffernan. Reed, who is on his way, is at second base easily, and all of a sudden the Red Sox have a runner at second.
Going to be a habit right now for the Red Sox. The wild pitch from Seattle Mariner pitchers certainly have helped out the last couple of days.
And 2 of them last night that resulted in direct scores from third.
Even though that ball ends up on the screen, it's still only 1 base because the pitcher threw that ball from the rubber.
(2-0) to Mike Greenwell. Greenwell, an even 200, 14 hits on the season. Still looking for that first home run. It is foul the right side, as he had the right idea, pulling the ball, trying to get Reed over to third. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Nothing outstanding from Fleming. He'll take a little bit off his fastball every now and then, try to turn it over. You saw the breaking pitch there to Greenwell. Also will throw a changeup to right-handers. He's been tough on left-handers so far this year. They're only batting 100 against him, but righties are batting 305 against this left-hander.
Fleming is a New York product, born in Queens, New York. 3rd round selection in the 1990 June draft. There's a ball hit deep towards center field to Griffey. Reed will tag, and Reed will get over there easily to third base. Greenwell pokes one deep enough to center to allow Reed to tag and go to third, and now there's just 1 out.
Good job there by Greenwell to pull the ball and advance that runner with the out. Like Fleming that time dropped down a little bit to the side. Greenwell able to hang in there and still drive that ball towards center field. You got to make sure Griffey's deep because he's got some kind of throwing arm. He can nail you at any base, but that ball too deep to throw Reed out.
And now it's Wade Boggs. Seemingly enjoying the number 3 spot in the order. And ducks away from that pitch with the infield in for Seattle.
No surprise here. Infield playing in right in the first inning. They're facing Roger Clemens. Don't expect to get many runs off Clemens. Try to cut down any possible runs they can early in the game.
Boggs had a couple of hits last night and 2 runs batted in. He also scored 1 and has hit the ball hard in the series. 2 balls and no strikes. Fly ball left center field, and this should get Reed in as Griffey goes off the wall. Sure does get him in, and it's a double for Boggs. Ball looked as if it was going to be a fly ball to left, carried a little bit with the wind, hit the wall for a 2-base hit, and the Red Sox lead 1-0.
This tonight is more like the Fenway Park that we are accustomed to, Ned, when the wind is blowing out toward left field. In batting practice this afternoon, the ball was really taking off toward that wall, and hitters looked like they were having a lot of fun. Now this looks like it's going to be just a routine fly ball. All of a sudden just keeps carrying. It's halfway up the 10. Red Sox get on board 1-0.
You knew that it was going to get Reed home if it were caught out there, but no chance to catch it as it just drifted onto the wall. So now it's 1-0, and Jack Clark is up. Clark, the designated hitter. Fly ball, shallow right field. Coming hard is Briley, can't get to it. And he nobody's at first base to do anything about it. Clark was halfway up the line, and first base was completely nude, and runners are now at first and third.
That ball did not drop in. It was caught. It was going to be called catcher's interference. I think we'll see on the replay that the glove was hit. The catcher's glove was hit, and Clark was going to be awarded first base. Right there, you see the glove being hit first. Clark just stood there for a while and pointed toward the catcher. Right there, he's telling him, umpire knows, Garcia knows already, but the ball drops in and the ball's in play.
He'll take the base hit and the eventual play, and on the play, Boggs went to third. So the Red Sox now have 3 hits off Fleming in his first inning activity. They lead 1-0 and threaten for more. Ellis Burks up. The hits have been an infield single by Reed, a ground ball, a wind-blown double off the wall by Boggs, and that bloop single to right field for Clark. They have not really tattooed Fleming yet, but there have been 3 hits and a run. One and one to Burks. Ellis hitting .242 with 3 home runs. Fleming was a good college player at the University of Georgia. And he also played with Team USA in 1989. With Georgia, he led the Bulldogs to 1990 NCAA College World Series competition. And picks up a strike on Burks. He recorded a save in the title game against Oklahoma State by pitching 3 scoreless innings and striking out the side in the 9th to get a 2-1 win. So he came up highly recommended and with good figures in college to get him into the big leagues early. After a year at San Bernardino at 1990, won 7 and lost 3 his first year in pro ball, and last year with Jacksonville, Seattle, and AAA Calgary. Burks pops it up. Harold Reynolds calling. Now the wind takes it. He backpedals. So that wind is a factor here tonight. There are 2 down. Wind with a flag blowing from first toward third. The crosswind from right toward left. And favoring anything hit out toward between left field line and center field. Fleming now facing Tom Brunansky. Bruno playing first base tonight, hitting .296, a couple of home runs.
Getting back to that interference play by Clark just for a second in the rule book, it says if the batter reaches base on a hit, error, base on balls, hits batsman or otherwise, and all runners advance 1 base, play proceeds without reference to the interference.
Ball 1.
Don't see that very often, but there are certain guys in baseball that do that because of the type of swing they have. That time the catcher was just way too close to home plate.
It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Boggs is at third. Jack Clark at first base. Tom Brunansky at the plate. 1-0 Boston in the first. The fastball is up and in. Nice stab at the mound by Fleming, and gets Brunansky to kill the inning now with 2 left. But the Red Sox did get 1. That ball was headed for the middle had he not made that play. 1 run after a half inning for the Red Sox, and they lead after 1 full, 1-0.
Take a look at the Franklin batting leaders, the top 5 in both leagues. First, the American League, Alomar back on top, 354. Mike Bordick being this weekend, really having a fine offensive start. Roberto Kelly, Puckett, and Chuck Knobloch moves into the number 5 spot, 329. National League, John Kruk. He's been up there all season long at 385. Gwynn will be putting some pressure on him soon. Andy Van Slyke, Will Clark, and Tony Fernandez, former Toronto Blue Jay.
Surprising to see Tony Gwynn up there.
Yeah, sure is.
All he does is stay around first and second all year and win batting titles over there in the National. He is the National League Wade Boggs type. The batter is Pete O'Brien, who is a designated hitter tonight. He played first in the other two games. Had a home run in the opener. I told you, has been effective against Clemens. Wow. Hits it deep to right field, hooking, and it is a fair ball home run. Pete O'Brien again against Clemens. Whacks it hard and curls one inside the foul pole for a homer. And that is his 10th home run of the year. He was batting 195. Boy, he has been something.
First home run allowed by Roger Clemens this season against the left-hander O'Brien. I'll tell you, O'Brien, unbelievable. 10 home runs. Came into the game with a 195 batting average. Third in the league in home runs now behind McGuire and Rob Deere. Like a fastball, too, that he got the head of the bat out against Clemens right down the line inside that foul pole to tie this game up.
He is now 16 for 42 against Roger, hitting about 370. I mean, he turned that fastball around, clocked it down, and it was just a matter of whether it would stay fair as it kept hooking off the left-hander's bat. It's 1-1 now. There is a strike, and the count is 0-2 on Dave Cochran, the switch hitting. Well, today he is the left fielder. He has been a catcher in this series. Can't play anywhere. And he goes toward the middle, but Jody Reed with that backhand for the out.
Looked like Jody Reed wanted to try to front that ball, and right at the last second decided to go to the backhand. Reed very good at going to the backhand. He's down low to the ground as it is, and really gets the glove in good position. Look how low to the ground he gets that glove. Works from the ground up, and it makes the play at first base.
One away in the Mariners' second, and Greg Briley, the right fielder, is up.
76 innings going back to last year for Clemens before that home run to Pete O'Brien.
1 ball and no strikes to Briley. 4 for 15 against Clemens. Briley hitting .214 on the season now, but he's an over 300 hitter over the couple of years against Red Sox pitching. A little cross up that time, and Pena goes out with Roger. 2 balls and no strikes to Briley.
Heavy with the left-handed hitters tonight in this lineup against Clemens. Mitchell not playing. Jay Buhner not playing. A couple of their power hitters.
Well, Buhner is 0 for 10 against Roger. That's one reason.
Looks like Roger right now is getting a pretty good spanking from Tony Pena.
Red Sox had the lead on 3 hits, and it only took 1 Mariner hit to tie it up. Chop toward the middle to Reed again. Backhand again, and he gets him again. 2 down.
No time to waste that time for Jody Reed. You know you got speed going down the line in Briley, and you have to make that transfer from glove to throwing hand quickly. It's exactly what Reed does. Gets some help with the high hop. Watch how quickly now he gets rid of this ball. Once again, that strong throwing arm from Reed certainly helps out.
There are 2 down. Omar Vizquel, the shortstop. He has not had a hit against Clemens in a couple of years. He's 0 for 12. And injury rehab at AAA Calgary, and was reactivated just about a week ago, a little over a week ago, on the 11th of May. He missed 25 games, sprained ligaments in his left knee. 1 ball and 1 strike to Vizquel. Chokes up on the bat, high toward right field and right center. And there it is, Bob Zupsik with the catch. So after the home run, Clemens gets the side in order. After an inning and a half, 1-1. So Seattle manager Bill Plummer down on the bench, trying to get one game out of this 3 and seeing almost everything that could possibly happen to his team happen. It's been a frustrating time for the new manager. In this, a hopeful year for the Mariners after a fine season when they finished over 500 for the first time last year. Tino Martinez grounds to Reed, and there's one out in the Mariner 4th.
That's the way the Red Sox have tried to pitch Martinez. Remember last year and so far this year, trying to get something on the fastball, try to tie him up inside before he can get those arms extended. Clemens that time burying him inside with the fastball. Because Clemens has that type of fastball that can get in there. Look how close the elbows and the hands are into the body and not able to get the head of the bat out.
You saw him extend those arms his last time at bat last night for the double into right field. Here is O'Brien, who homered off Clemens his first time, and he's quickly ahead on the count 2-0. It was O'Brien's 8th Fenway Park home run and his 2nd in this series. Hit one off at Reardon the other night into the Red Sox bullpen for 2 runs in the 9th inning. Chops it to first. Brunansky to Clemens. 2 down. So they handle him this time. They're 2 away quickly in the Mariner 4th. Brunansky holding 4th at first base tonight. Had different people playing first in this series. Scott Cooper, Jack Clark, and Tom Brunansky. Dave Cochran, left fielder, grounded to second base in the 2nd. Reed has been busy with 4 assists. A little pop going down into left, and it's going to drop foul. Just out of the reach of everybody. Boggs was back there. Rivera came sliding over from shortstop, and Greenwell in from left, and it just found its way amongst them.
Every time I see Rivera go down to that area to try to make a play, you worry about the shoulder, the knee that he had operating on in the offseason. He gets a peek right there at the wall. Then he'll go into the slide feet first to try to avoid that possibility. Boy, tough to hit one foul in that area.
Avoid the possibility and avoid Greenwell in case Mike is anywhere near him. There's 1 strike to Cochran. Dave Cochran, a man of all gloves on this team, has played every position except pitcher, second base, and center field. Two and one. Minnesota, Toronto tied at 2, 3rd inning at the Skydome. Twins giving the Blue Jays fits up there, and the Twins are playing good ball. Red Sox helped them get well out there in Minnesota.
A lot of people feel that this year the Twins ball club is better than the team they had last year.
And yet a lot of folks picked them 4th or 5th in that division. Skied foul by Cochran, 2-2.
Billy Beane, who's a scout for the Oakland A's, has been here watching the Red Sox the last couple of days, and we were talking about just that the other day. He said that he likes that Minnesota team better this year than he did what they had on the field last year. So, and it's not to show it now.
Yeah, they're playing well. 2-2. Still 2-2 to Cochran. Well, they certainly have an established infield defensively, the Twins. And ties him up inside for a strikeout. Roger gets the side in order in the 4th inning, picking up his 2nd K. And after 3.5, it's still 1-1. There's Junior Griffey kind of laughing in the dugout after that kind of a scary catch for a while. Just kept going back and back.
Very seldom do you see a player be able to backpedal and outrun the ball. Griffey did it that time, showed what a great athlete he is, but generally when you get backpedaling like that, the ball will beat you every time.
The wind was carrying that pretty well, and the Junior is rather cool. There's a big bubble gum burst out of the mouth after the couch. It's 1-1 at Fenway Park. Now it's a hitter's win. as Greg Briley faces Roger Clemens. Briley grounded to second base in the second. Jammed and fouls it back. Strike one.
Road trip ends tonight for the Seattle Mariners. I think Briley be glad to get back home. So far this year, 308 at home and 133 on the road.
Blisters that one in, and it's strike two. 1 run and 2 hits, 1 error for Seattle. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Boston. Twins doing it to the Blue Jays again. Fouled off by Greg Briley. Good pitching going on in the stadium and also off the lake. National League scores. The Braves leading the Cardinals. Braves had fallen back a little bit. 4 under 500 after their pitchers had completed their shutout string. Cardinals still a hot ball club in the National League East. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Briley. And 1 ball and 3 strikes to Mr. Briley. 3rd strikeout for Clemens.
All the strikeouts tonight for Clemens coming on some kind of off-speed pitch. That's the split-fingered fastball. He's got 2 strikeouts with that pitch and 1 on the curveball to Griffey. Now, Clemens early in his career, most of his outs were either strikeouts or fly ball outs, and that really turned around over the last few years. Most of his outs now are ground ball outs to go along with the strikeouts. Because of one of the reasons, because of that pitch there, the split-fingered fastball.
Omar Vizquel takes a strike. Mariners shortstop flied to right field his first time, and he bloops one toward right, and it's going to drop. Base hit as he fists one out there off Clemens, and the Mariners have a runner and their 3rd hit.
Sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and that's exactly what happened to Vizquel. His fastball just eating him up inside, but somehow he's able to muscle the ball out over the head of Jody Reed to get a base hit. I believe that's his first base hit ever against Clemens. Yep, he was 0 for 13 coming into that at bat.
So that's one hump that he's over. Bert Heffernan, the catcher, grounded to Boggs. That was in the 3rd inning. Game tied at 1, top of the 5th inning.
Heffernan wears that uniform the way another catcher for the Mariners did in the past, Bob Stinson.
Yeah,
used to call him Scrap Iron. Pants way up high, showing a lot of blue on that sock.
1 ball and no strikes.
It's the way everybody used to wear them years ago.
Yeah, that was the natural, conservative way to do it until all you flaming youths got in here.
They're going to say something else.
There may be a double play. They do get it. Nice pickup by Brunansky in the tail end. And they turn it 6-4-3 to end the 5th. After 4.5, the Mariners won and the Red Sox won. It's the top of the 7th at Fenway and a beauty. 1-1. 1 run, 3 hits for Seattle. 1 run, 7 hits for the Red Sox. The Mariners have made an error as Roger Clemens finds himself in a duel with rookie Dave Fleming. And the Red Sox have had opportunities but have stranded 10, and 8 of them in the last 4 innings.
Last couple of nights we've talked about run support from the Red Sox for their starting pitching, and Clemens had the least support. They were averaging about 3 runs a game for Clemens, so he's had to work very hard in all of his games.
Yeah, he hasn't had any 7-0 laughers. Joe Hesketh has had some problems. He's been a hard luck pitcher. Tino Martinez has grounded out twice, both to the right side of the infield, once to first and once to second. He is hit by a pitch. Clemens uncorks one off the right shoulder of Martinez. And Tino is at first base, leading off the 7th.
Last time up, Martinez swung at the first pitch, and it was inside, and Clemens hoping that maybe he'd come a little bit farther inside this time, get him to swing, but right off the back, Martinez flips the bat away and will head to first. I have to watch Clemens this inning. Now, I remember last inning, a couple of very hard-hit balls off him by Edgar Martinez and then Griffey, both for outs, but line drive outs.
And now it's O'Brien. Pete homered down the right field line in the second and grounded to first base his next time up. There's foul strike one.
That pitch there, too, that hit Martinez, maybe a little message to the Mariners that, look, I'm still out here, and I don't really care for guys hitting hard line drives off me.
O'Brien goes deep again toward right field, and it is caught. Oh, in the dirt. Fine play out there by Zupsik. A saver like that. Bob Zupsik down in the gravel in Brunansky land a couple of years ago. And O'Brien is robbed of a base hit.
Well, I'll tell you, we are seeing some kind of defense tonight in this ball game. Zupsik only making his second start out there in right field for the Red Sox. Breaking ball to O'Brien, line shot right to the warning track to make the catch. Outfield defense tonight, something else.
Both clubs. Nice diving catch in the gravel for Bob Zupsik. And he had to catch up with that ball. It was hit hard by O'Brien, who just unloaded on Clemens. So there is one out and a runner at first. The batter is Cochran. And he rifles one past Jody Reed now into right center. And runners are at first and second, and a couple of more hard shots this inning off Clemens.
Yeah, they've had some hard hit balls the last couple of innings. Martinez, Griffey for outs, and out for O'Brien on the line drive. Took a great defensive play there by Zupsik, and then that base hit there by Cochran.
Runners at first and second. One away. Greg Briley will be up. 4 hits now for the Mariners. They have been well spaced.
I remember, too, now Clemens is working on 3 complete games in a row. That's tough on any pitcher.
In an era of where you don't see too many of them, Roger has been kind of a refreshment to watch, completing what he has started in this era of setup men and long men and short men. There's a drive by Briley into left center field, and that will score the go-ahead run. Greg Briley wasted no time singling over short. That scores Tino Martinez from second, and now it's 2-1 Seattle.
Well, they're not waiting around either. The first strike that they see now from Clemens, they're jumping on and hitting the ball hard. Briley, who has had some success off Clemens in his brief career, gets this base hit to put the Mariners out in front 2-1. Fastball away, just goes with it. Another line drive, this time over Rivera's head.
One out, runners at first and second. Seattle leading 2-1. Omar Vizquel will look at a ball down low. He has flied to right and looped a single to right. His first hit ever off Roger.
Looks like it might be Tommy Bolton now starting to loosen up after his 2 strikeouts in that game last night.
Vizquel down to first. Brunansky throws it. The play at first base cannot be made. There's an out at second base. They got the middleman, and now there are 2 away with runners at first and third. Cochran advancing to third on the play.
Nice play by Louis Rivera at shortstop to keep this ball from going out into left field. Brunansky was trying to make the double play himself, being a little bit too quick, and the ball almost thrown away. Watch Rivera here as he gets the bag with the foot, crossover, and gets the force play.
Little air ball to first base, but it's accurate, so no harm done on it. 1 runner at first, 1 at third. There are 2 outs, and the number 9 hitter, Bert Heffernan, is up. Greg Harris joins Tommy Bolton in the bullpen. Heffernan is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice, once into a double play. Strike 1.
If it gets to a couple of strikes here on the number 9 hitter, you might want to watch Vizquel at first base. They may try to steal another run here with the double steal.
bluff to third, and nothing happening on that. Hardly ever does.
Got me once on it.
That's right. Hits a ball. Got Alan Wiggins of Baltimore. The Red Sox got him once. Jeff Sellers did it.
Steve Busby got me, and Dick Williams wanted to drop punt me right back to AAA.
1-1, and a ground foul off to the right side. 1-2 to Heffernan. It doesn't get many people often, though. Got to be a fad for a while. Everybody was trying it. 1-2 to Bob Heffernan. Cochran at third and Vizquel at first. Seattle leading 2-1 in the seventh. The fastball shown outside. 2-2. Dave Cochran over third. Omar Vizquel off first. 2 away. It's high to Heffernan, and now the count is full. That'll set him off at first base, but Vizquel will be going.
A little bit more pressure now on the infield as that runner's going to be off, so very unlikely to have a force play at second, and plus with that man on third, it's a little bit tougher.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Hit batsman started all this, and the hit batsman eventually scored. Tino Martinez. 3-2 pitch, lofted foul, out of play. Heffernan with a tough at bat here, staying in there and driving the count full, fouling a couple. Five hits now for the Mariners. 2 this inning. Struck him out. Heffernan down on strikes. And the Mariners lead a couple of runners, but they did score once. And after 6 1/2, they lead 2-1. Okay, Bob, thank you. And we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Roger Clemens trailing in the ball game 2-1. Wade Boggs first up. Rookie Dave Fleming working to him inside, ball 1. Boggs has had a double, flat out, and walk. He knocked in the Red Sox run in the first inning. Two and nothing. A lot of pitches have been thrown now by Fleming, who's gotten out of some jams, and the Red Sox leaving 10 men on base. Fouled out, back out of play. 2-1. Gap on Boggs in right center. Griffey over toward left center field. The fastball just missing inside, ball 3. Jeff Nelson warming in the bullpen for Seattle. Boggs goes foul again to make the count 3-2. There's Nelson, who got in the game last night briefly and ineffectively. Red Sox have Matt Young throwing in the bullpen. Down to first and off the ankle of Martinez, and Boggs is safe. And the Red Sox catch another break. That's out number 1 normally, but Martinez had the ball play him. It appeared that it kicked off his foot, and Boggs is safe.
Yeah, when they say a player kicked on, this is what they mean. Right off the foot, he had the glove down, and it looked like it hit him off the foot, kind of bounced back towards second base. He thinks he's got it in the glove, but it's not there.
Martinez charged with an error. And again, the Red Sox have a runner on, courtesy of something from the Mariners, which has happened a lot this series. Either walks, balks, wild pitches, errors. Mariners lead in this one, though, 2-1, and Clark at the plate. Ball one. Clark has had one hit in 3 times, a looping single to right field in the first inning.
Well, the Mariner inning started off kind of funny with Clemens hitting Martinez. Red Sox get a break to start their inning off here in the 7th with the error.
And the hit batsman scored the go-ahead run for the Mariners. One ball, one strike to Clark. Last time up, Clark swung at the first 3 pitches, fouling 2 of them, and then flying to left field, a play on which Cochran fell down but was able to right himself and make the catch. Off speed, ball 2, 2-1.
One of the reasons Clark takes a lot of pitches from the middle of the plate away is because he's always looking inside. He looks for the ball from the middle of the plate in and just will not swing at a pitch outside pretty much until he has 2 strikes on him.
Missing outside, ball 3, 3-1. Fleming went 3-2 to Boggs before the error. Now he's 3-1 to Clark.
If he gets the pitch that he wants here, I think Clark's going to come unglued on this swing.
May have to. Turn all the way around 360 degrees and hope that he gets it. He takes a high foul ball coming back and caught behind there by Heffernan. So they get Clark on the 3-2 cut. He fouls out to the catcher, and there's one away.
Well, that'll show you there when a hitter is messed up, because he did get the pitch that he wanted. It was a fastball right down the heart of the plate. He just left it too soon and popped it up to the catcher. Watch the front shoulder right here. Start to come out a little bit early, right toward the end of the bat, and pops it up.
One down, and Burks is up. He has popped up, walked, and flied to center. Foul. Zimmer will olay that one and let it go by. 1 strike. Burks checking with Don now for a sign with a 1-strike count and a runner at first and 1 away. Red Sox trailing by a run, 2-1.
Not too many signs to give in this situation, except maybe the number 4. I want the 4-bagger.
Little chopper toward third. It'll kick out foul. Making sure that it doesn't come back fair is Fleming, the pitcher. 2 strikes to Burks. Nobody's 22 years old, are they, in this world? Well, Fleming is.
Let's see. The second youngest pitcher in the league this year, Pat Mahomes, I believe, is a little bit younger.
Yeah, pitched a good game yesterday against Toronto.
Steve Avery in the National League, 22 years old.
Well, you have to go with some to beat Bob Feller, who came up when he was 17.
Still pitching, isn't he, in some games?
Yeah. Outside for a ball, 1-2. Boy, he was something to watch in those early days. I did see him pitch a couple of times against the A's in Philadelphia. The Blue Jays have gone ahead of the Twins now, 7-6, 7th inning now. Eric Bell with a home run. And Burks tries to hold that swing and strikes out. There are 2 away.
Now, Fleming has had Burks kind of messed up all night long. He's had him out in front of quite a few pitches, and so Burks fouling a ball off down third base. Now he puts a little extra on the fastball upstairs, and Ellis cannot hold up.
So it's the 2nd strikeout for Fleming, and he faces Brunansky now. Tom has ended 3 innings, but he's had some fielding plays made to stop him on 2 occasions. Heffernan in the dirt, ball 1. In the first inning, with 2 runners on, he hit one hard back the middle towards center field and was stopped on a good play by Fleming. He threw him out. Flied out to left field in the third, and in the that was with 3 on. Then with a couple on in the 5th inning, was robbed of a base hit on a fine catch by Ken Griffey in left center field. Boggs takes off. Down goes the throw. He is safe. So Boggs gets himself into scoring position. He represents the tying run.
And like Boggs just kind of hanging around the bag, and they're not paying very much attention to him. So after about 3 or 4 tosses, he said, well, let's give it a crack. Pretty good jump right there for Boggs, and he'll pick up his first stolen base of the season. Very close play as Reynolds put that tag on his back. Looked like he just might have had the fingers in on the head first slide.
2-0 to Brunansky. 2 out. Boggs at second. Mariners leading 2-1. Ball 3. Dennis Powell has moved into the bullpen activity now for the Mariners. The left-hander pitched to one batter, got him out last night. Ball 4. Runners at first and second. So again with 2 out, the Red Sox have runners, multi-runners on the bases, and the hitter will be Bob Zupsik, who has grounded out 3 times, twice to third and once to short. 4 walks have been given up now by Fleming. Red Sox have jammed bases all through this game and have been threatening, but the young left-hander has kept them at bay and leads 2-1. Ball 1. 5 off the mark in a row now. Time called.
I think Bill Plummer, the manager of the Mariners, would love to stay away from the bullpen until it was time to go have to get Mike Skula, who has been his closer.
Right now, quickly back for an update. Major League update.
Camden Yards here in Baltimore. Oakland with a 3-2 lead in the top of the 7th. Lance Blankenship sends this one up the middle. Willie Wilson will sprint home. It's now 4-2 in favor of the A's. Let's go back to Ned and Jerry.
Okay, here we go. And Bob Zupsik takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Zupsik. Boggs at second and Brunansky at first. Mariners lead 2-1. Fastball missing outside. Ball 2. 2-1. Back off for a moment. Boggs got the inning started reaching on an error by the first baseman Martinez, then later stole second and stayed there as Brunansky walked after 2 out. Base hit to left field, and this will tie it up. Boggs will score. Brunansky to third. Double for Zupsik. 2-2.
And a little bit of this, a little bit of that from Fleming all night long, and he's tried to live on the outside corner to right-handed hitters. That time he makes the mistake with the breaking ball right over the heart of the plate, and Zupsik does not miss it. Line shot right by Martinez. Red Sox will tie the game up, and that'll bring Bill Plummer out of that dugout for the Seattle Mariners.
2-1. Gap on Boggs in right center. Griffey over toward left center field. The fastball just missing inside. Ball 3. Jeff Nelson warming in the bullpen for Seattle. Boggs goes foul again to make the count 3-2. There's Nelson, who got in the game last night briefly and ineffectively. Red Sox have Matt Young throwing in the bullpen. Down to first and off the ankle of Martinez, and Boggs is safe. And the Red Sox catch another break. That's out number one normally, but Martinez had the ball play him. It appeared that it kicked off his foot, and Boggs is safe.
Yeah, when they say a player kicked on, this is what they mean. Right off the foot. He had the glove down, and it looked like it hit him off the foot, kind of bounced back towards second base. He thinks he's got it in the glove, but it's not there.
Martinez charged with an error. And again, the Red Sox have a runner on, courtesy of something from the Mariners, which has happened a lot this series. Either walks, balks, wild pitches, errors. Mariners lead in this one, though, 2-1, and Clark at the plate. Ball one. Clark has had one hit in 3 times, a looping single to right field in the first inning.
Well, the Mariner inning started off kind of funny with Clemens hitting Martinez. Red Sox get a break to start their inning off here in the 7th with the error.
And the hit batsman scored the go-ahead run for the Mariners. One ball, one strike to Clark. Last time up, Clark swung at the first 3 pitches, fouling 2 of them, and then flying to left field, a play on which Cochran fell down but was able to right himself and make the catch. Off speed, ball 2, 2-1.
One of the reasons Clark takes a lot of pitches from the middle of the plate away is because he's always looking inside. He looks for the ball from the middle of the plate in and just will not swing at a pitch outside pretty much until he has 2 strikes on him.
Missing outside, ball 3, 3-1. Fleming went 3-2 to Boggs before the error. Now he's 3-1 to Clark.
He gets the pitch that he wants here. I think Clark's going to come unglued on this swing.
May have to turn all the way around 360 degrees and hope that he gets it. He takes a high foul ball coming back and caught behind there by Heffernan. So they get Clark on the 3-2 cut. He fouls out to the catcher, and there's one away.
Well, that'll show you there when a hitter is messed up, because he did get the pitch that he wanted. It was a fastball right down the heart of the plate. He just left it too soon and popped it up to the catcher. Watch the front shoulder right here start to come out a little bit early, right toward the end of the bat, and pops it up.
One down, and Burks is up. He has popped up, walked, and flied to center. Foul. Zimmer will olay that one and let it go by. 1 strike. Burks checking with Don now for a sign with a 1 strike count and a runner at first and 1 away. Red Sox trailing by a run, 2-1.
Not too many signs to give in this situation, except maybe the number 4. I want the 4-bagger.
Little chopper toward third. It'll kick out foul. Making sure that it doesn't come back fair is Fleming, the pitcher. 2 strikes to Burks. Nobody's 22 years old, are they, in this world? Well, Fleming is.
Let's see. What's he? The 2nd youngest pitcher in the league this year. Pat Mahomes, I believe, is a little bit younger.
Yeah, pitched a good game yesterday against Toronto.
Steve Avery in the National League, 22 years old.
Well, you have to go with some to beat Bob Feller, who came up when he was 17.
Still pitching, isn't he, in some games?
Yeah. Outside for a ball, 1-2. Boy, he was something to watch in those early days. I did see him pitch a couple of times against the A's in Philadelphia. The Blue Jays have gone ahead of the Twins now, 7-6, 7th inning now. Derek Bell with a home run. And Burks tries to hold that swing and strikes out. There are 2 away.
Now, Fleming has had Brooks kind of messed up all night long. He's had him out in front of quite a few pitches, and so Brooks fouling a ball off down third base. Now he puts a little extra on the fastball upstairs, and Ellis cannot hold up.
So it's the second strikeout for Fleming, and he faces Brunansky now. Tom has ended 3 innings, but he's had some fielding plays made to stop him on 2 occasions. Heffernan in the dirt, ball 1. In the first inning, with 2 runners on, he hit one hard back the middle towards center field and was stopped on a good play by Fleming. He threw him out. Flied out to left field in the third, and in the that was with 3 on. Then with a couple on in the 5th inning, was robbed of a base hit on a fine catch by Ken Griffey in left center field. Boggs takes off. Down goes the throw. He is safe. So Boggs gets himself into scoring position. He represents the tying run.
And like Boggs just kind of hanging around the bag, and they're not paying very much attention to him. So after about 3 or 4 tosses, he said, well, let's give it a crack. Pretty good jump right there for Boggs, and he'll pick up his first stolen base of the season. Very close play as Reynolds put that tag on his back. Looked like he just might have had the fingers in on the head first slide.
2-0 to Brunansky. 2 out. Boggs at second. Mariners leading 2-1. Ball 3. In the top of the 8th inning of a nicely contested ball game that slowed down here a little bit in the 7th inning as each team scored a run. Roger Clemens out to work against the top of the Mariners order in the top of the 8th inning. Roger in 7 innings has given up 2 runs, both earned, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 53 strikes and 40 balls and 93 pitches. He's given up some pretty good shots the last couple of innings. 2 line drive outs in the 6th off Martinez, Edgar, and Griffey. And then the hit batsman, a line drive out by O'Brien on a fine catch in right field by Zupsik. Cochran singled sharply to right center. Briley singled to left center to drive in the run. At that time, a go-ahead run. Got a strikeout on Heffernan, though, with a 2 on to end the 7th. So he's out again to face Harold Reynolds, top of the order.
As this inning starts, Tony Fossas is warming up for the Red Sox in the bullpen. You look down this lineup, and you get to the area where they got Griffey, Martinez, and O'Brien, 3 left-handers. That's the reason for Fossas. But they got some power on the bench tonight. Mitchell and Jay Buna.
Trot him out. Reynolds is 0 for 2. He's grounded twice to Jody Reed at second and has walked. Ball 1. Boggs, wary of Reynolds' ability to bunt and run, is on the edge of the grass at third. The outfield is straight away. Strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Edgar Martinez on deck. Two and 1. And a 2-2 count to Harold.
Reynolds has a very, very difficult time laying off that high fastball. That's one of the reasons that last year he made more fly ball outs than anybody in the league.
Two-two pitch toward the middle, and Reed bobbling the ball and looking, where is it? It's behind him, and he's got an error. He still can't find it. Looking around there and saying, well, I'm either going to bluff this guy out of something, or else I really don't know where that ball is. But Welke had to get out of the way of it. The umpire went sailing in toward the infield grass, and it's an error on Reed.
Well, these innings have started out in funny ways. Hit batters, errors, and Reed right now, he doesn't have any idea where the ball is. He's not faking right now. He's asking Rivera. Once he makes this step, Reynolds starts to think about second base. Now he picks it up.
If it had been a little bit farther out on the grass there, Reynolds might have taken off.
At first, I thought he might have been deking. There'd be no reason to do that because I don't think Reynolds would be foolish enough to go to second base with the ball that close to him, but he had no idea where the ball was.
So, Lex 2 half innings have started out with errors. The Red Sox took advantage of the one created by Tino Martinez, the first baseman, on Boggs, and Boggs eventually scored the tying run. Now, Reynolds with speed is at first base. And in conference at the mound, Butch Hobson out there seeing what the hell they want to do this with Edgar Martinez, a good contact hitter at the plate, with 1 for 3, a double, a grounder to first, and a line drive out on a fine play by Brunansky at first base to take a hit away from him.
A lot of options right now here late in the game for Bill Plummer with this combination of Reynolds at first and Martinez at the plate. He does not have a sacrifice this season, but excellent bat control, and they could maybe get that guy moving with a little hit and run action. Let's see what he does here in the 8th inning.
He bluffs the bunt and brings the wings in. Ball 1. Brunansky holding and charging. Boggs coming in from third. Reed toward first.
Funny, we've seen some fine defensive plays in this game, especially from the outfield. Some errors in the infield.
A couple of ordinary errors too.
Little flinch that time by Reynolds with his right knee. That caused Clemens to step off. And because of that, maybe they're taking off a sign. Marty Martinez, the third base coach, called Martinez out of the box to put on another sign. Maybe they had the hit and run on, now they're taking it off.
1 ball and no strikes to Edgar. He is going to bunt it. Clemens will go to first base with it. Reed covers, and the sacrifice works. Gets down Reynolds to second base. So he's there in scoring position with 1 away, and Edgar Martinez gets the sacrifice. Reynolds are going out to second base. Clemens to Reed.
Well, now Clemens really has his work cut out for him with 3 left-handers in a row. Griffey, Martinez, and then O'Brien. Last time up, Griffey hit a hard line drive to center field. That was on a 3-0 count.
Yeah, he went for it and lined it hard right at Ellis Burks. In the 3rd inning, he bounced out to Clemens, and in the 1st inning, he struck out. 4-hit night last night. He had 1 hit the night before. He's looking for his first hit tonight.
This is where Clemens has the luxury that probably no other Red Sox pitcher has to stay in a game.
He has been able to get this out, or this situation, more times than not. When the opposition has a lead run or a tying run at second base, or even at third sometimes, and Clemens has gotten out of the inning by getting 1 or 2 outs. He needs 2 here.
Managers in the past, Joe Morgan, McNamara, of course, and now Hobson will talk to Clemens, and he'll pretty much make his own decisions.
A strike to Griffey. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Junior. Two balls, 1 strike. The jackknife by Griffey. Clemens very close to that 100 mark in pitches. And Griffey drills it to short, knocked down. The throw to first base, not in time. Rivera went to his left. That ball was scorched on the ground, and he's able to knock it down, turn around, but not able to get the fleet Griffey going to first. And now the Mariners have runners at first and third.
For the last 3 innings, Clemens really has not fooled the Mariner hitters. Everything they're hitting seems to be hard. That ball hit with some topspin to Rivera, gets the glove on it. Can't do anything right here with it. It's too late to get Griffey going down that line.
It'll go as a base hit for Griffey. Griffey gets on with a single. Reynolds goes to third, and Tino Martinez is up. He was hit by a pitch his last time up and scored. They try a squeeze, and they got to blow it as there's an out there. They had a runner streaking for home. Reynolds going to the plate, and Griffey, or rather Martinez, missing the ball.
I have no idea what play they might have had on here, because Martinez is swinging away, and they've got a runner coming in from third base and a runner at first going. I doubt very much they'd have a squeeze play put on with Martinez to the plate, but you see right there, Reynolds taking off. He's not trying to steal home.
No.
Because Clemens is in his set position. Right there, Payne's just going to run him down, but somebody boxed something out. Now I'd have to think it would be the hitter, because both the runners were doing something.
So a blown play by the Mariners takes a runner off third and puts one on second, but now there are 2 outs. And Tino Martinez looks at strike 2. Well, all kinds of crazy things in this series.
It'd be strange that
down
you
the line
put on a squeeze play with your number 4 hitter at the plate.
Yeah, even a double steal seems strange. Struck him out. Clemens got the call on the inside corner, and that's all for the Mariner threat in the 8th inning. For Clemens, his 5th strikeout, the Mariners leave a runner. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-2.
Bill Plummer in that dugout trying to figure out what's going on with his ball club. They had a chance there to score a run, and some kind of boxed up play.
Yeah, you see if somebody like Vizquel was at the plate or something like that, maybe you'd try something. But why with the Martinez up, runners at first and third, and 1 away?
It would be hard for the runner at third, Reynolds, to miss the sign, because that's usually a verbal sign between the third base coach going right to the runner at third. So that shouldn't get messed up.
Jody Reed leading off in the 8th inning. 2-2. Reed has had a couple of hits tonight. 2 singles, a walk, fly ball to center, continuing to hit well from the leadoff spot. Jeff Nelson on the mound, and it's fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, you know, last night we saw Bill Plummer put up a left-handed pinch hitter to face a left-handed pitcher. It was Tino Martinez, so maybe he does play against the book. Maybe he was squeezing with his number 4 hitter at the plate.
It certainly wasn't expected by anybody, including anybody in the booth. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the count is 2-1. Starting pitcher Dave Fleming went 6 2/3, gave up 8 hits and 2 runs, 1 of them unearned. 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. He had a balk. 2-1 to Jody, and it's hammered towards short into left center field. Base hit. Jody Reed with his 3rd hit. Boy, he has done a great job from that leadoff spot.
Jody Reed has made this team feel like they've been out of position all night long. He got a base hit early in the game where Reynolds had to dive for 1, and right here he gets Vizquel, who was playing him to pull, hits it right back up the middle. That's going to bring Plummer out of the dugout. He's got Powell still throwing with a couple of left-handers coming. I could probably make that move. He's gone.
Greenwell due up along with Boggs, and Powell, who disposed of Plantier on strikes last night, hit to just that 1 batter, and he will be brought on as Nelson, in the time that he has been in there, faced 3 batters, walked 1, got 1 out, and gave up a single. So Dennis Powell, the lefty, will be brought on with Greenwell due up. And another pitching change as we see more of the Seattle bullpen. Dennis Powell coming on, and Jeff Nelson leaving after pitching 1/3 of an inning, giving up a hit and a walk. He's responsible for a runner, as Reed has led off the 8th inning with his 3rd hit of the night. In this 2-2 affair, 6 hits for Seattle and 2 errors, and Red Sox have 9 hits and 1 error. Each team has had opportunities to do more, mumbled plays, and people left on base, particularly left on base by the Red Sox, keeping them from scoring more than they have.
Dennis Powell on to make his 17th appearance of the season. His record stands at 1 win and no losses, a 2.35 ERA. All his appearances have been out of the bullpen. 13 hits allowed in 15 in the 3rd innings. He has struck out 10, walked 6. Opponents hitting .228 against Dennis Powell so far this year. Right-handed action in the bullpen also. It's Mike Schooler.
Really trying hard to get to Schooler in this series. He just has not been. He's had an up and down time lately too. He gave up 2 grand slams, one to Dave Winfield to win a ball game for Toronto against him out there. Then he comes into Toronto and saves 3 games.
All close games up in that Toronto series, all 1-run games, and the Mariners taking 3 out of 4. Schooler closing out 3 of them.
Greenwell coming up. He is 1 for 4. Red Sox in this game have stranded 13 runners and have scored but 2 runs. The Mariners have stranded only 5, but they've had situations where they have had opportunities to score more than they have against Clemens. Clemens had some fine fielding plays behind him to take runs away. The bunt attempt, strike 1. That brings Edgar Martinez in from 3rd as the missed bunt is strike 1.
When you get the bunt sign against a left-handed pitcher, you got to make sure you square around and get yourself out hanging over the plate, because the tendency against the lefty is to open up, and that's what happened that time to Greenwell. Threw the fastball right by him away.
He'll pitch out. Almost threw it away. Ball 1. Nothing happening down at first. Jody Reed was hanging down there, and it's 1-1.
Once again, Butch Hobson taking the bunt off, and takes it off when there's 1 strike on the hitter. Usually it works the other way around. If it's ball 1, and sometimes they'll take it off and let the guy swing away for at least 1 strike. He does it the opposite. He's done it about 4 or 5 times this year.
2 balls, 1 strike to Greenwell. Boggs on deck. The game is tied 2-2 in the 8th inning. A wacky kind of ball game, featuring good pitching throughout most of it. Gutty pitching by the rookie Dave Fleming, and Roger Clemens has been Roger Clemens, but has been hit hard lately. Powell over to first. However, neither team has been able to cash in the big ones, and it's 2-2. One of the Red Sox runs is unearned. Outfield peeled well around toward right. They give Greenwell all of left field. Every bit of it. Runner goes. Strike. Throw to second, and he is put out at second base. So that takes care of that, as Greenwell a big swing, and Jody Reed is cut down on the throw from Heffernan.
The Red Sox taking a gamble, and it doesn't pay off. They get Greenwell in the 2-1 count, thinking he's going to get a strike and make some contact. See, he swings through the pitch, and now Reed's just going to be dead at second base. I don't know. If Greenwell's going to hit in the number 2 spot, he's going to have to be able to sacrifice bunt.
The 2-2 to Mike. Little high, ball 3. And a looper to left, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Some blood on that, but Mike will take it, and a little single to left field with 1 out.
Certainly would have liked to have that on the 2-1 count when Hobson put on the hit and run.
So Powell gives up his first hit, and that's the 10th hit for Boston. Bringing to the plate Wade Boggs. He has a 1-for-3 night going. a double driving in a run in the first, and he scored the tying run in the seventh. Strike one. One and one to Wade. Game started briskly enough and then has become a stuttering affair in the last few innings, with each team threatening and not much happening offensively.
Both teams have had their chances here in the late innings.
Plenty. Martinez holding against Greenwell. One ball and one strike. Boggs pulls it high down the right field line, near the line and fair, and the ball is lost in the lights. Overrun by Briley. Runners are at second and third. And on we go in this crazy game called baseball.
But the incredible thing about this, it's going to go as a double because he's not even close to the ball. He just completely overruns the ball, wind blowing it back in toward the playing field. Watch this, just goes right by the baseball, then can't put the brakes on and gets back. He knows he's in trouble right here. Once again,
it looked as if it was going to be foul, but there's a wind, as we told you, has been going toward the wall all night. And Briley just plain overran it, lost it, and it's a pop fly double for Boggs. Runners at second and third.
Oh, we see some great plays and we see some ugly things happen in this game.
My goodness. Boggs has had two doubles that the wind has helped. And now Jack Clark is up with a chance to put the Red Sox ahead. There's one out. They're going to put him on. First base is open, and the only thing you can do right here is to put the intentional pass, create something of a force at any base, a double play possibility with Burks up next. Boy.
I would think now that he'll intentionally walk right here to load the bases, set up the possible double play, and go get Schooler, the right-hander, out of the bullpen.
Well, I think he's seen enough of his bullpen, the other parts of his bullpen, although Dennis Powell is not completely at fault here. A little pop fly single to left field by Greenwell off his fists, and a pop fly double lost by Briley, and overrun and misplayed by Briley. Herm Winningham is coming on to run now for Jack Clark. Winningham running for Clark at first base. And we're going to go to the bullpen. There's not an ulcer brewing for the manager, Bill Plummer. Well, there is now. So Winningham running for Clark. Roger Clemens now looking and hoping that something can be done about this offense to try to get a run across and put him ahead, as the ace closer Mike Schooler is on the mound for Seattle.
Schooler making his 18th appearance of the season. His record stands at 0-3 with a 6.48 ERA. 19 hits allowed in 16 2/3 innings. He struck out 10. He's walked 10. Opponents hitting .292 so far. Schooler, last time he worked was in that Toronto series. As a matter of fact, he worked 3 straight games, picking up 3 straight saves in that series. He has 8 saves on the season. That's one more than he had last year with Seattle, as he was kind of up and down with injuries. He was on rehab for a while with the bad shoulder injury, which has cost him quite a bit of time last season. This guy's had some big save numbers. 33 back in 1989. 1990 had 30 saves, and then the shoulder problem.
Dennis Powell leaves and wonders what happened. He faced 3 batters, gave up 2 funny hits, 2 loopers, a single and a double, then had to walk Clark intentionally, and he's out of the game and responsible for all those runners.
Burleson right there at that book. He has in that book notes that he's made on pitches around the league, and telling guys like Bob Zubcic, who probably have not seen Schooler, that's what's going to happen. There it is, the sinking fastball and the slider he's going to get from this fella.
Tony Fossis in the bullpen for Boston. Roger Clemens with a 2-2 game going for him. A lot of times the Red Sox have been able to do something like this and pick up runs to have him ahead, and sometimes when Roger has been through for the night, can walk off for the win. But for the most part, Clemens has gone the route and has done it alone. Ellis Burks is 0 for 3. Popped up, walked, flied to center, and struck out swinging. The infield is in. Ball 1.
I think the reason the infield in here, of course, the game tied at 2-2, but Brooks with a pretty good speed. They don't want to take the chance on not being able to double him up at first.
Greenwell is the runner at third. Boggs at second. Winningham at first. Fouled off. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Burks.
I think Brooks right now has to tell himself, think hard about driving the ball back up the middle. He seems to be out in front of an awful lot of pitches tonight. A little bit anxious.
Yeah, he's pulled some foul balls off to the left side a lot. $11 hits for the Red Sox. 2 runs. Game tied 2-2. 8th inning. 1 out. Long drive left field. Forget about this one, baby. Home run. Ellis Burks, a grand slam. It is now 6-2.
Career grand slam number 6 for Ellis Burks. And he was certainly not out in front of that pitch for Mike Schooler.
Well, the Red Sox have been waiting all year for something like that.
Fastball from Schooler knocked down around the knees about thigh high, and Burks just loses it quickly into the net. That is a blast. You're right, Ned. That the Red Sox have been looking for all season long. Something to spark them offensively.
Boy, oh boy. Everybody knew it, including Schooler, who didn't look around. The 6th grand slam of Ellis Burks' career. There's a ball thrown to Bruno. So all of a sudden, this close ball game and this nitty-gritty kind of thing is a 4-run affair. He knows he has it. Bang. Foregone conclusion.
See how happy he was. There's a guy that very seldom shows much emotion at all. And he knows what that meant from himself and the ball club.
It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 3 of the runs charged to the unlucky Dennis Powell. Well, the ball stung toward right center, but run down by Griffey. Wynn takes it, but he stays with it. Finally get the second out.
I'd be willing to bet, Ned, that Clemens had a similar reaction to that in the dugout. Watch that ball fly out of the ballpark.
Absolutely. Roger needed a little help on that one in that inning, and he got it. Single by Reed starting it off. That was against Nelson, and then Powell came in. Greenwell fisted, kind of fought off a ball and looped a single to left field. Boggs' fly ball was overrun for a double, overrun by Briley, and that was a big one right there. Clark was walked intentionally, loading him up. Schooler comes in and feeds the grand slam to Ellis Burks. And a strike. Bob Zupsick up. He has contributed something in this game. Diving catch in right field, taking a base hit and extra bases away from O'Brien in the 7th inning after a runner was on. Then 2 hits followed that, so you never know what might have happened had that ball gotten by. Going for extra bases and more runs. And Zupsick swinging for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was the 4th home run given up by his Schooler this year, and when he's effective, very seldom does he give up home runs because his fastball generally is down around the ankles.
Well, that's 2 grand slams that we know of in the last 2 weeks that he's given up. Dave Winfield got him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, when troubles come, they come not as single spies for the Mariners. They come in battalions. And the battalions are becoming regiments right now for this ball club, which is having a rough road trip, except for 3 out of 4 in Toronto. So how do you figure the game? And a strikeout. Schooler gets a strikeout, but Ellis Burks with the slam. And at the end of 8, it's Boston 6, Seattle 2. Top of the 9th inning, and the Red Sox lead 6-2 on the grand slam by Ellis Burks, and Tony Fossis has been called to nail it down.
Tony Fossis is going to make his 11th appearance of the season. No wins and 1 loss. ERA 2.08. Total of 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits allowed, 1 run. That run was earned. He struck out 1. He hasn't walked anybody. Opponent's hitting .267 off Fossis, and he worked in the game last night. 2/3 of an inning, retired both batters he faced, and that was in the 9th inning.
Roger Clemens in 8 innings gave up 6 hits and 2 runs, both earned. He walked just 1. He struck out 5. He had a hit batsman, and he threw 107 pitches. Pete O'Brien starts it off against Fossis. O'Brien's had a home run, grounded out, and was robbed of extra bases on a fine diving catch in right field by Bob Zupsick in the 7th inning, with a person on base, and then following that were singles by Cochran and Briley, and who knows what would have happened had not Zupsick come up with that one. Tom Bernansky made a great play on a line drive at first base in this game. 2 strikes to O'Brien. Nothing in 2 to Peter, and Cochran is on deck. The crowd tonight, 32,055. 32,055. And they've had some fun tonight, although it was a little tense for a while, nail-biting time throughout this, as the Red Sox continued to leave people on base. And Dave Fleming worked a gutty ball game against Clemens. And they got into the bullpen, and that's what happens. Tap towards short, and Rivera. 1 out.
Well, Cochran now probably hit for himself, but then we'll probably start to see a parade of pinch hitters, and that's true. Henry Cotto will be coming out on deck to hit for Briley.
Cochran has 1 hit tonight, a single in the 7th inning. Ball 1. And there's a base hit right up the middle for Dave Cochran. He's 2 for 4.
I imagine now that out in that bullpen, Jeff Reardon will quickly start to loosen up, as we're going to see some right-handed pinch hitters now. Henry Cotto being the first of them. 4 for 7 this year for Cotto as a pinch hitter, and on deck some power. Kevin Mitchell.
Mariners in this series have shown the ability, let's look at Jeff Reardon, shown the ability to hang in there offensively in late innings and make it tough for the Red Sox in the 8th and 9th. Red Sox won last night by 2 runs, 7-5. Coming up with a 2-run 7th inning to break a 5-5 tie. Of course, the night before, the Mariners, trailing 3-0, got 2 runs on a homer by O'Brien off Reardon to make it a 1-run game with a tying run on base when it ended. They've got a runner on, but now this time they trailed by 4. Henry Cotto, batting .276. Led off last night and went 0 for 5. toward left. It is a fair ball bouncing off the wall. Cotto goes to second. Runners at second and third and nobody out. So here come the Mariners.
And I would imagine Butch Hobson would quickly be coming out of that dugout with Reardon.
Mitchell. Kevin Mitchell coming on. There's one out in this. And Kevin Mitchell coming on the bat.
Reardon was up an inning ago, lightly throwing in the bullpen, and he's probably made about 6 or 7 throws down there now. Pena out to the mound to talk to Fossas, maybe to give Reardon a couple of extra throws in that bullpen. The thing about Mitchell right here, he can't beat you with one swing right now, but he can certainly get you to within 1 run.
The double by Cotto, sending Cochran down to third, and Mitchell will bat for Vizquel. With runners at second and third and one away, a base hit here could make it a 6-4 game, and here comes Butch. So nothing is really definite about this series. The teams have made it that way. A rather indefinite series, but a spectator's delight, I would think. They've been in up until the 9th inning in all the games. Things have been happening. Witches and the Warlocks have been out in this one.
Red Sox are back on Nesson Saturday at 1 o'clock when they take on Mark McGuire and the Oakland A's. It all starts at 12:30 with Red Sox Digest. Then at 1, Red Sox and A's this Saturday on Nesson.
So Butch Hobson makes the change after Fossas got the first batter, O'Brien, but then gave up a single to center by Cochran, a double to left by pinch hitter Henry Cotto, and Reardon will come on at this time with 2 on, 1 out, and the pinch hitter Kevin Mitchell due to be up.
Jeff Reardon now 336 career saves, 5 behind Fingers at the 341 mark. Reardon has saved the last 2 games for the Red Sox. Last night, 1 pitch in that ball game to retire Greg Briley to pick up his 9th save of the season. Record stands at 0-0, 2.03 ERA, 10 hits allowed in 13 1/3 innings. He struck out 80, he's walked 1, allowed 2 home runs. Opponents hitting .213 off Reardon this season.
Had a rough save the first game of this series when he gave up the 2-run home run to O'Brien, and then a couple of more hits as they threatened a line drive out by Heffernan after that home run by O'Brien, then a single by Cochran, a pinch hitter, and the tying run was on before he finally struck out Harold Reynolds to end that game. Then as Jerry said, the 1 pitch last night got him another save.
How about Henry Cotto, Dad? Now 5 for 8 this year as a pinch hitter. Last year was 10 for 15 in that role.
You'd like to have a guy like that, you know, that just really has a feel for that coming off the bench and able to do things cold and do the job.
Probably too good at his trade. He probably doesn't get to start a lot of the games because he's more valuable coming off the bench late in the game to get a hit. Kevin Mitchell, who normally is starting in the game, had the start of the game off tonight with Clemens on the mound. So far this year, Mitchell's been up 1 time as a pinch hitter, and he's got 1 hit.
Don't find him doing that very often.
No.
But now you have to consider the wind is blowing out. Reardon has had a penchant for giving up home runs in the late situations. Kevin Mitchell is that kind of hitter. And 1 swipe of the bat could make this a ball game again. Mitchell hitting .235. Still trying to get started in his new league with his new team. He has seen Reardon before. Ball 1. And ball 2. 2, 2-0 to Mitchell. Cochran at third. Cotto at second. 1 out. A ground ball past Boggs, fair, bouncing on the railing. It'll score 2 runs. Mitchell's got a single, and now it's 6-4. A broken bat hammer down there the third base way, hitting that jutting railing out there and bouncing into left field. Just fair, and a pinch single by Kevin Mitchell makes this a 2-1, a 2-run affair with 1 out.
Seen this happen a couple of times in this series when guys have got base hit, made some contact, and the bat's been flying all over the infield. Right toward the end of the bat, Mitchell has the handle in his hand right down the line by Boggs, and the Mariners continue to battle back. Now more power at the plate, and Jay Buhner.
Buhner will bat for Heffernan. Buhner played right field in the first 2 games of this series. He goes for it. Fly ball that hangs up, though, and it'll be taken by Greenwell for the 2nd out. Little anxious. Jay Buhner got the ball off the end of the bat. Did not get the good part of that on it and flied out.
Exactly where Reardon wants to put the curveball to a guy like Buhner so he can't pop it over that wall. Keep it away from him. Make him try to pull it, and that time right off the end of the bat. Stay away from his power.
So Harold Reynolds will be the batter. He is the last chance for the Mariners. He represents the tying run in the game. Reynolds was the last out 2 nights ago when Reardon struck him out with the tying run on base. Reynolds tonight has reached twice, once on a walk, once on an error. He is 0 for 3 officially. Well, these Mariners don't go quietly. They shoot themselves in the foot all night long, and then they come back in the 9th inning and make it interesting. Both runs charged to Tony Fawcett. Two balls, 1 strike.
Guy you want to get right here is Harold Reynolds. Don't want to have to go to Edgar Martinez.
No, sir. That's a strike. And the count is 2-2. Ground ball to first base, bobbled. No play can be made. Reynolds is safe. Brunansky bobbles this ball, and this game is still alive incredibly. Harold Reynolds, of course, fast up that line, saw daylight. And after that bobble by Brunansky, 2 of them really, he's crossed first base, and now the tying run's at second, or at first base, and the lead runs at the plate.
Brunansky playing right close to the line, has a bounce off his chest toward the Red Sox dugout. Can't grab it on the first grab, and Reynolds with that speed just going to beat Reardon over there and beat the toss. Whoa, boy, I tell you, both teams.
This is crazy, isn't it? Strange things are happening. And Edgar Martinez is up. He's had 1 hit and 3 times, a double in the first inning. Mitchell is at second. Reynolds at first. Ball 1. Each team has made 2 errors in this game. Reynolds has reached on errors twice, the last 2 times up. One by Reed, and this one by Brunansky. Tom Bolton warming in the bullpen for Boston. The count is 2 balls and no strikes to Edgar Martinez. And guess who's on deck? Ken Griffey. That's why Bolton is warming up. Martinez to follow him if it goes that far. It's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Foul, strike 2, and now it is a 2-2 count with 2 out and 2 on. And the fans will try to stand up again and get that third strike.
Jeff Ridden having a tough time selecting the ball right here. Wants to get the one with the good grip on it. It's high seams.
You saw them in the Seattle dugout. One of the players twisting his arm as if he's going to throw a breaking pitch. 2-2 pitch. Lifted high toward right field and under it. Making the grab is Zupsik. And this game is finally over. As once again we say they had it all the way. Tying run left on base. In the 9th inning, 2 runs for the Mariners. They had 3 hits. There was an error and a couple left on base.